How was it like, growing the team? Like, do you face any challenges?
Definitely a lot of challenges. I think in business, the challenging thing is that humans will change.
Our guest, Melvin Lim, is CEO and co-founder of PropertyLimBrothers. You all already do not know. You've probably seen him on some of your social media channels, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and all that. We do home tours of properties. He also runs two companies, PropertyLimBrothers Media, and as well as PLB Realty, where we transact homes.
Okay, if I want to make this work, then I need to really form a very good first impression that this business is going to go big. Because I think as employees, they also want to join an organization that has an aspiration to go big. Having the company vision set up first, plus the culture that we want, plus what kind of company we want it to be, and how big we want to go to, it adds a lot of our to our employees.
Like, what was that decision made?
I started to realize that even though I was running like client-facing kind of business, but I always have that aspiration to one day become a business owner. I feel that business has many pillars. So you have HR finance, you have the operations, you have your marketing arm.
So welcome to our new episode of this podcast series where we're going to talk about leadership. And today with me, I have our guest, Melvin Lim. He's CEO and co-founder of PropertyLimBrothers. You all already do not know. You've probably seen him on some of your social media channels, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and all that. We do home tours of properties, right? So he also runs two companies, PropertyLimBrothers Media, and as well as PLB Realty, where we transact homes, right? So Melvin, maybe share with us a little bit about yourself and your journey here, basically growing these two companies.
Right. Quick intro. Been a realtor since 2007. My first job was actually a prison officer for 3 years. Yeah. So quite a huge shift into the sales route. And of course, I spent my first 10 years really learning on the ground, doing sales, consults, helping clients with investment, marketing of their homes, all the way until 2017. Then that was like a transition into the phase whereby I started to see like media having an impact in the real estate industry. Yeah, so 2018, we started this new company called PLB Media. That was the time that I was still like running a rainmaker model. I call it like a team model within a real estate arm. Yeah, so back then I was with one of the bigger companies, but on the side, I decided that I can also start my own media production house as a business owner. And yeah, so lo and behold, 2018 all the way until the next couple of years, the media team actually grew in strength as it really like supported a lot of the sales, production, digital marketing, and we started to see the impact that media, videos, marketing, on what it can really bring to the table to help our clients' properties perform better. Yeah, in that aspect. Then it evolved into a stage whereby in 2022, I decided to bring the team out and then we started PLB Realty. So now I'm running two firms as the CEO and co-founder of the media arm as well as the realty arm. Yeah, and so that has been like a 7 years journey as a business owner. Yeah, so my first 10 years was like as a realtor. Last 7 years was as a business owner.
Right. So I think that's quite unique. Like usually, I think real estate companies are known to just transact real estate. Right, but for you, you also started a media arm. Like, what kind of piqued your interest? Like, what was that decision made?
Yeah, so back then the struggle as like a realtor consultant was that I started to realize that even though I was running like really like a client-facing kind of business, but I always have that aspiration to one day become a business owner. Yeah, and I've been trying to run my business in the real estate space as a business, but I feel that a business has many pillars, right? So you have HR finance, you have the operations, you have your marketing arm, you have your tech arm, you have maybe if you're running a logistic business, you have the production arm. But I feel that in the space of real estate, all the homes that we're representing our owners to sell, technically, these are like our inventory. And they are like in the production aspect of a business. But in order to let this inventory look good in the market, to position them very differently, we will need the media element to really like add into the mix in the production house so that this product becomes like premium, right? So I feel that from a business sense, the media arm is really important. So media marketing In fact, in the business space, some traditional business, maybe they always are worried about marketing costs. They don't want to advertise, they want to invest in organic content. But in our aspect, I feel that media and marketing is really one of the key elements to make the business work.
So, I mean, growing two different companies, I mean, they technically do two very different domains, right? They're not even domains. How was it like, growing the team? Like, do you face any challenges when you're kind of growing? Especially, I think one of them is like the realtor arm. They are like independent contractors. The other arm is predominantly they are you have your staff or employees, teammates in the team. What were some of these like challenges you had when you were growing? I mean, I think we started with 6 people in the team.
Yeah.
And then going to over, I think now we have about 140 over teammates in the team. Right. Yeah. What were some of these challenges you had?
Yeah. A lot of challenges. Definitely a lot of challenges. I think in business, firstly, there's a lot of books that I read before. It's like, they always say the number one most important thing is sales. You need to bring in sales because sales is a bloodline. Before sales will be lead gen, but in the later years that I've been reading up and also growing myself as a business owner, I think human is the most important element. Because if you don't have humans, in terms of like maybe on an Asia context, we call it human or people. Without this element and without mastering really how to gather a group of like-minded people towards a common vision, I think it's very hard for a company to grow, and it's very hard for a company to sustain and survive as well. So the human portion, I think, is the most important element in the sense that humans are the creative portion, because all of us have minds that are creative. We're living things. We're not like physical objects, right? So once you have like good talents within the team, like-minded people that wants to do good work together, I think if you have mastered that and you know how to really align everybody's interests for themselves and for the company and for the customer, once you form this straight line, like an alignment of the talents you have, the company's interests plus the customer's interests first. Once you reform this straight line, then I think your growth path becomes very clear. But of course, the challenging thing is that humans will change. Yeah, because all of us go through different seasons. We can start from a season that we have no commitments, we don't have a family, we don't have spouses, we don't have kids. But once we evolve, we grow our family, want to grow our personal wealth, buy our property and all that, we evolve through certain stages, like maybe at a stage that we will focus on health, at a stage that we'll focus on our illness, at a stage that our parents are old, we want to spend more time at home. So humans, we need to respect the fact that we have different seasons. Yeah, and because of that, there is always a rejuvenation process of talents. Yeah, so I'll say that will be one of the key challenges. But coming back to this journey, I think there was one book that really shaped my mind in the very initial year. That was a book called The E-Myth. Yeah, The E-Myth is one of the pivotal books that I read. It's about systemizing a business and really knowing how to attract talents, retain talents, align talents' interests, plus systemizing the entire business. So if you were to ask me today, I would say the most challenging thing would be humans.
Humans, yeah. Okay. That's very interesting, because I mean, I think a couple of clients that I have coaching sessions with, they always share that the biggest challenge for them is building that human element, or sometimes it translates also into like the company's vision, their core values, as well as then evolving also into the culture. Right. So I mean, building PropertyLimBrothers, what were some of these vision that you had for the people within it? Right.
So there was always like a lot of things that I was trying to balance as a business owner, not in a sense whereby we talk about work-life balance. The word that I'm talking about balancing is that I realized once I became a business owner, there's always a lot of problems, firstly, on a level 1 basis that you have to solve on a daily basis, monthly, quarterly. It's like I was just imagining, like, if you have 8 pillars in the business, or maybe 6 pillars, each pillar will always topple at certain season, and you have to go and solve it. You have to pick it up, and then by the time you pick this pillar up, another pillar will start to be shaken, and then you need to go and strengthen it as well. But it's about how do you stabilize and thicken your pillars as you grow your business. It's about thickening the 6 pillars lah. Like whether is it HR finance, the operations, the tech, the marketing, media, the production, the sales as well. When I was building PLB, I think I only had experience of at a max 2 hires under my first 10 years journey. So I only had a PA, I only got a telemarketer. So I didn't know how to manage two talents within my team. It was not easy to manage talents because when you want to hire, there's already a challenge. You are like a one-man show realtor, myself and my business partner back then, Adrian. So 2 of us is like, when people come for interview, they were like, oh, I'm working for these 2 realtors. Like, who are they? Then it's like, is this job secure, right? I'm just a PA, right? So our PA staff, they come and go. We had some good ones, some that didn't really gel in with what we wanted and the culture. So I think it was a learning curve for the first 10 years. Then when I started the PLB media arm, then I realized that, okay, if I want to make this work, then I need to really form a very good first impression that this business is going to go big. Because I think as employees, they also want to join an organization that has an aspiration to go big. Yeah, because as the company goes bigger, they will feel that there's a growth path for them. So I started to realize that, okay, having the company vision set up first, plus the culture that we want, plus what kind of company we want it to be, and how big we want to go to, it adds a lot of, I will call the spider web theory to our employees. Meaning that as an employee, if I join this company, I'll feel like there's a lot of things that I don't want to give up. Like firstly, is there a spider web called culture? Is there a spider web called fun? Like, do I have fun with the people here? Is there a spider web called freedom to create? Is there a spider web like maybe the salary is good? Is there another spider web like the benefits are good? Is there another spider web that my boss hears my opinion and treats me like a friend and also a subordinate? Then is there another spider web that, you know, there's a growth path? Or can I become a leader one day? So I think when I read about the spiderweb theory, I realized that this spiderweb is actually the culture of the company. It's not just one line where we call culture. It's really like, do you build this spiderweb of different things that interweave together so that your teammates, they feel like if they want to leave, they're going to miss this place. Yeah, and that is how we wanted to build PLB from start. Is like, can we have multitudes of so-called like spider webs and flexibility that people will always want to come to work every day? Yeah, so that's the first thing. Second thing is that I also hope that through this work, in terms of the home tours, whatever that we're doing, it creates value for realtors, because I realize that realtors, they usually find that it's very hard to find their own positioning and their own value in the industry, because the industry is very competitive. So they don't feel pride in their work. Yeah, they feel like I'm like a no-class citizen, or people don't respect my profession. So how do we elevate that with media, marketing, videos, content, so that they have a space to share their knowledge? Yeah. So in 2 aspects. One is on PLB media. How do we build that good spiderweb culture? Number 2 is how do we, through media and marketing, restore pride in agents' work? Yeah. So that was my intent for humans at the start. Yeah.
So this spiderweb theory is very interesting. First time I'm hearing it, right? Like the spider web. So if let's say I was a business owner, I'm looking to grow my business now, grow my team as well. Business is doing well, I want to grow my team. This spider web, since there are so many different linkages, what are the maybe like the top or the first 3 I should prioritize when I'm doing this spider web?
I think the first one, as a new company, if let's say we are talking about a small setup first, is to let them know that your boss have a big dream. Yeah, because when they can see that, they can go past the fact that I don't need to work for a big company. Yeah, but I can be part of a movement. So it's about constant casting of a vision, what you believe in, what is the core value, and then where are we going? So I think like when we started PLB, we always share with them that we want to build a warship of 100 initial teammates to shape the industry, shape how things are done in the real estate industry. And if you want to be part of this warship, this is the best time to join while we're still new and young. So that was how we recruited from scratch. Second one is also to assure them at the beginning, whoever is in the first 100 warship, we always promote from within. Yeah, I think that's a very important thing, so that they know that there's a growth path, rather than seeing you always helicoptering people to come in and manage them. I think the helicoptering in experienced managers will need to happen once you're over 100. Yeah, because once you're over 100, you need certain level of experience that you can't build from within so quickly. So we need people who have worked in MNCs before, bigger companies with experience, bring in SOPs, how to manage production and all that kind of stuff. So I think that is fine after 100, but your first 100 people, you need to give them assurance that you will raise them up from within. Yeah. And I think number 3 is in recent years, that's what we implemented in PLB is really about, on top of the culture, I think is to let them know that this is a sports team. Yeah. So sports team's mindset is basically adopted from the Netflix book, which I learned that I used to make this mistake in the past when I started PLB, is that I always tell everybody, hey, you are family. Yeah, but I realized that if I were to have a mindset that our company is a family, that means that we condone bad behaviors, because we cannot change our family members. But we should be run like a Manchester United sports team, like how Alex Ferguson runs his team as a coach. So I'm like the head coach. You guys are team members. We play to win, but we have family empathy values. But if you don't play well as your role, there's only one position in this role as a midfielder or goalkeeper. If you don't play well, and after 3, 6, 9 months, there's still no improvement, it's only fair that we need to replace a player. If not, the whole team will lose. Yeah, so I think 3 things, basically casting the vision. Secondly, raising our leaders from within. Thirdly is the sports team mindset.
All right. So that's I think those are very 3 good pointers, especially if you're growing a business, to take note of, right? To grow your people. Also to, I think, invite talent into the company, right? So with people, I think the second thing maybe we want to talk about, when it comes to scaling a business, right? What comes after people, in your own opinion? Like, what is the second thing that we should prioritize on? Let's say I'm a business owner, I'm someone that's growing a team.
Yeah. So I attended a course, and it's a Mandarin course lah. You always have this triangle called 天地 and 人, right? So 天地人means that 天, you need to be a leader that can see the trends in the market. Yeah, because if the industry is evolving and changing, and you don't change and pivot fast enough, or if you are not clear about what to retain and what to change, then your business is going to be in trouble. It's going downhill, or it might result in the fact that you might be stubborn to change certain things or the way of doing business. So they call it the 天 part lah. 天 is something that you cannot control, because if the weather changes, you cannot control it. 地 is basically like you need to be on the ground as well. Yeah, so one way that, back to your question on what is more important, what is after human, right, is that as a boss, I think that a lot of bosses, they aspire to have a full passive business, right? Maybe like a vending machine business, right? So vending machine business, maybe 80% can be automated, but you still have to solve certain issues. If certain vending machine break down, or you need to hire a team to look after the machines and stuff. I think that the T means that as a boss, you need to be on the ground to feel the ground. Which is why until today, I will still personally do the webinars. I will still minimally do at least 4 home tours a month. I will still meet clients on a higher level to do consults and stuff like that with our guys. Is that I need to feel the ground. So once I feel the ground, I know what are the trends that's happening in the 天 part, then so that I can then add value to my people, to add value to the customers. Yeah. So the 人 part actually comprises of 2 things. One is internal and external customer. External customers are the most important, but internal customers are also important, because it's the internal customers that serve your external customer. Internal customers are actually your teammates. Yeah. So to answer back your question, is that the 天 and the 地 is very, very important. In fact, the 3 of them, they work in a holistic triangle.
Right. Okay. So I think the rent also forms that people component. D is the what again? Sorry.
D is that you need to be on the ground to feel the ground, because if you're on the ground, then when the weather changes, you are the first to feel the raindrops.
Right. So you get like direct feedback on the ground.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. How about the Tian? Tian is to observe the trends that are coming up. That means to have the weather forecast, like what is coming to disrupt your business. Before you are being disrupted, you have to self-disrupt yourself to change first. Yeah. So it's like Tian is like, I look at the weather forecast for the next 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 1 year. If I know AI is coming, if I know certain tech tools are coming, if I know certain trends in media and marketing is coming, or we should change the way we do our content, we should change the way we do our consultation, then we need to forecast it first. But in order to have the weather forecast, the boss and the core team needs to walk the ground.
Right. So here's a fun fact. Actually, I mean, when we started PLB, I think in 2019 when we started the sales team, I was actually one of the first 6 teammates to join the PropertyLimBrothers team back then, as inside sales team, right? And over time, we have grown the team together. Actually, we've been working together for the last, 5-6 years?
Yeah, 2019 until now, I think it's your 6th year already.
Yeah, 6th year. What are some thoughts about, like us working together? Do you think it works out for us? You being in the CEO.
So I think the fun fact about Marc is that one day I received an email, I think that was like December 2018, and then there's this person who wrote in and says that he's keen to have a meetup with me, and he's keen to join PLB, and he introduced himself. I remember like you were in the process of like selling your tuition business, and you have been like a entrepreneur for a good journey, and you just got your license, want to come in, and you talk about like how you love the PLB videos and all that kind of stuff. But after we met up, there was a very interesting letter that Marc wrote, is that he came in with like a pre-planned vision, is that he don't want to be a salesperson all his life. He wanted to like come in to this like startup format, and he told me that he wants to help to build PLB together in terms of like the business, the systems, building a structure and stuff like that. So he wants to be part of the business strategy rather than just being like a realtor on the ground. So back then, of course, when I saw that email, I was like impressed. It's like, okay, then I think it's very timely that we have somebody with business knowledge that can come in, and somebody who loves systems, and somebody who loves to build business structure, pillars and all that, because I know that once we reach a certain stage, naturally we will need to form like a core team. In certain company, we call C-suites and management team and stuff like that. I will know that definitely we need somebody to take care of like the operations role, the COO role. So I feel that back then, 2019, when I received like Marc's letter, it was like, okay, there's somebody that is very suitable to come in. And of course, I think the journey back then is like, you took the first year to be really on the ground, understand about the sales process. Then very quickly, even though he's like a 1-year realtor, then we promoted Marc to become like the main, back then we call it like a presenter role. So he goes with our sales team for all the pitches. So back then I was the main person going for pitches. Then Marc will shadow me. Then once he mastered the pitching level, then we started talking about the hiring level, the operations level. Then we look at different pillars, the finance, how to build the production structure, the sales structure. In fact, Marc was the first person that formulated the SOP for the sales team. Like step by step, what do we do? Meet this client, what's next, the whole onboarding process.
I think back then, my mindset, I didn't know it was called the T back then. We haven't attended this course, right? But I think it was really to get a ground sensing so that at least I know what realtors go through, what the business is like, before I think I can implement certain systems or structures. I think that was the period where we had like, we use Apple Notes, right? So we have like many different folders, different notes for different kind of systems and SOPs. Before I meet a client, these are the things we should do, certain messages and like scripts and all that for our realtors as well. I think it was a very interesting journey for myself to grow, not just in as a realtor, gaining real estate knowledge, but at the same time, I could also utilize certain skill sets that I had, which I brought. I mean, with having done a few like businesses back then, education in F&B, right? And then coming here, also, I think I remember in the email, I think I wrote something like, I have this certain skill set, a little bit of digital marketing, a little bit of marketing, a little bit of consults, this and that. So I think that was the mindset I had when I think when you come to a company, similarly when we were talking about people, right? How do you find this right kind of people to that really are here to value add to the growth? But it also I think has to be aligned with whatever vision or goals. Just like you talked about, when you talked about like casting the vision, like we were all aligned in that sense. We wanted to build that PLB warship 100. Initially, I think we had the inspiration, I think, from the Spartans also. Like the Spartans 300.
Yeah.
Then we converted it to like a warship kind of model. So I think that over time, as the team grew, there was more system and structure that needed to be in place so that the operation also ran smoothly.
Which of course now, I think Marc has like promoted multiple rounds, and of course now he's like VP Ops, and of course like his next emplacement is towards like the COO role. So he's really like running the COO kind of scope, handling multiple departments. So I think great growth for you as well over the years. Together as I grow the company, I think it's like all of us grew together.
And I think also I wanted to share that it wasn't just myself. I think together with, I think Melvin was also a very good mentor, and in a way like he's like a coach to me as well. Throughout my years of growing, right, not just in real estate knowledge, in handling people, in learning how to work together with people. All these skill sets were also learned over the past 5-6 years that we've been working together. I think what's also important is if you're watching this, whether you are a business owner or if you're looking at hiring someone who's maybe in like my similar role, I think there are certain things that are also very interesting. Maybe we can talk about this. Like, what were some of the, if let's say I was in this position, you had to hire someone or find someone in this role, what would be some of the things that you will look out for in this COO kind of position?
Right. So I think the important thing to look out for, firstly, is that for all hires, we usually look out for people who come in with a mindset to add value first. That means seek first to add value before thinking about what they can take. It's from the Givers and Takers book, Give and Take book by Adam Grant. Once you identify this, it's like, okay, the first green light, right? It's like people who have add value mindset. Second is that they themselves should have a growth mindset. But in order to find like COO caliber person, I think it really has to be somebody that is very different from the CEO personality. But it doesn't mean that CEO has to be a certain kind of personality, because I mean, like in PLB, we use the DISC approach. Some companies use the MBTI and all that kind of stuff. But I think, firstly, the CEO must be somebody that understands yourself, your own strengths and weaknesses. But you also must tell yourself that I have to grow in all aspects. If I'm not detailed enough, I have to learn how to have attention to details. Even I'm not strong in sales, I need to grow in sales or strategy. But I think when you want to find a COO caliber, this person must have attention to detail. That's number one. This person must be somebody who believes in systemizing things. Somebody that believes in automation. That means like, how do I automate processes? Which will mean that the person must have a holistic scope to design things, and they must want semi-automation or automation for the company. Which then gives to the third route is that they must also have the courage to delegate, because if the CEO don't have the courage to delegate and wants to do everything themselves, they themselves are going to burn out. Everything is going to stuck with them. And so they must be a master of delegation, I would say, or at least work towards being a master of delegation. And I think the fourth thing is that because the COO needs to handle so many departments, they must be good with people. So I would say that they must be strong in the sense that when the CEO is absent for, let's say, 1 month, they can really run the company. But of course, CEO and COO must really work very closely together, in the sense that the CEO is like strategy, vision, drive the company, go out and bring back things for the company, morale and stuff like that. And then CEO really takes care of a lot of the structure, the system, the SOP, feel the ground within the company, feel the people's morale, and then they work hand in hand. Yeah. So I think CEO also requires a lot of roles. It's a bit like after Steve Jobs passed away, Tim Cook, though he was like the COO, but he can assume the role of a CEO. Yeah. Right. Even though they're very different characters.
Cool. So maybe I think those are very good 4 pointers that you shared, right? So first is the value adding portion, then automation, delegation, and then also someone that can handle people. Maybe let's talk a little bit about this automation and systems. Like, so if let's say I was a founder or CEO looking to grow a company, and I don't have this person, I need to automate some of these systems in place. How should I look at it? Like as an advisor, how should I look at it, and what kind of processes should I look to systemize first?
So I think that depends on which stage is the company going towards. So for example, if it is still at a startup stage, compared to if it's a mid-sized company, maybe 50 to 100, or versus 0 to 50, you have different systems and processes. When we were maybe 0 to 50 people, I would say that it's much easier, because when you introduce new systems, for example, like how you communicate within the company internally, it's much more easier. But I would say that we have made a lot of mistakes when we were younger, because we were just like not thinking about the communication platform. It's only like in the recent years that we implemented Slack within the whole organization. And we realized it was so difficult to implement because we had 100 over people. Just to get the alignment is really tough, and to let everybody get used to it. So if I were to go back time, I think the first one to solve is your communication platform. That means your internal communication platform. Second one to solve, I think, build or adopt your CRM very, very early on how you collect data. That's how I would do it again. Because once you grow the company, as new people come in, they will just come in with a matter of fact kind of mindset. Oh, company uses this and this communication platform, I will just use it. But once you have 100 people and you want to implement a new thing, it's very difficult. Yeah, and it's very time consuming. And training and all that kind of stuff. So if I can go back time, within 0 to 50 people, quickly implement your internal communication platform, your customer collection platform. And I think in terms of like building how you have momentum within your human kind of like culture or morale, it's very important to build the energy very early on. That means I call it like the momentum building, which I believe is the lifeblood of a business. Meaning that what is the momentum that the company have in terms of like internal events, internal celebrations, the way that you gel your people together, the culture and all that kind of stuff. So like you need to like create that kind of synergy on a month-to-month basis. So that's why we have like our town halls, our huddles, our monthly huddles. And recently we implemented our meeting rhythms and all that kind of stuff. So I think these three things are the three most important things at the start.
Just now when we were talking about systems, and then suddenly we talked about like the people aspect again, like the internal events, like the cohesions, the town halls, all that, and how it actually links is actually a part of the system that we're also building, so that when new people kind of join, they're able to really know that, okay, this is the culture that's in place. It also, I think, is a two-way street kind of thing. If I don't agree with this kind of a culture or like how the vision is like, I will choose not to join this company, right? But if I'm aligned, then I think, yes, I definitely want to be in this part of this team or part of this warship. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Okay, maybe just one last question. So if let's say we were to reset again, like you have to rebuild everything from scratch, right? Yeah. How would you what would be your thought process as a person that's starting a new business? Let's say we talked about people, we talked about systems, we talked about the spider web, the TNT and run and all that, right? How would you kind of think about it? Your thought process?
So I would say that because of the fact that when you want to grow and scale a business, you need to make sure that you grow the right things at the right sequence lah. But sometimes doing a business is so difficult in the sense that you need to firefight, and maybe this year you want to focus on your sales revenue, but you just can't because you don't have the right talents on the team and they are lacking certain skill sets. So then you need to go back to training. Then while you're doing training personally, you don't have time to go out and get sales back from the market. Or maybe this year you set for yourself like, okay, all my leaders and me, we go out, network, get more business connections, go for more events, build strategic networks, collaboration. But then you realize that there's something that you need to fix in the company. Maybe somebody leave the company, a key position, then you need to spend time to rehire, or you need to come back and fill up that role. So I think sometimes it's very hard to sequence the pillars at every stage lah. So I think firstly, as a business owner, you need to be dynamic. You need to be very flexible as well. Certain things that you really need to come back on the ground to do it yourself, you have to do it while you wait for the hire to come in. But if you were to ask me how I will start back, right, is that as we discussed in the previous question, definitely the communications platform, customer data. I will definitely maintain the spiderweb morale building. But there'll be one more thing that I will definitely do it this time around, is that I will document every portion.
Of the systemizing, like SOP.
No, I will document the journey.
Right.
That means like I will document it using media even more, because I realized over the years, it is through our documentation of our vlogs and everything that allows us to attract more talents. But this time around, if I were to restart, I will document it even more. That means I might even get external hires, freelancers, just to document how we build a company.
I notice always our events, right? Even though we have our own media team, we still invest in getting external like media people to come in to take photographs, sometimes even do video, all that. So even that is still not enough. We feel that we should do even more.
Yeah, I think that like even like daily, I might even just do a daily vlog, to vlog like every day.
Everything that happens.
Yeah, because I think when you have all this media data, even like now when we're filming this, if there's somebody that's vlogging this, it's like there's a lot of media data that you can really accelerate the business, accelerate the culture in future. Yeah, if you want to create certain kind of memories for your people, you can do it. You want to make it into a training program to show the external world, you can do it. You want to weave out certain things to create content, you can do it. It's just like how Gary Vee always vlogs every day. Yeah, but I think if I were to do it again, I will invest in that part.
Okay. Yeah. Can we have just one super final question? Sure. All right. So I think just now we talked about training, coaching, right? What's your take on that? Like, when do you think someone should take on, like, go for more training or more education, or basically to upskill themselves?
I think training and coaching, it has evolved because of the liberty of the tools that we have now, right? Personally, for me, I utilize everything. I adopt the Bill Gates format, going away for a week to read immensely or to write. Number two, I use this concept to use I call it the fragmented time. In the sense that if I'm driving, I'm jogging, I'm doing workout, or just listen to podcasts and all that kind of stuff. I still believe that reading is the best, because as you read, your eyes take in the visual information from the words. Comparing to hearing podcasts, I think reading is more powerful. So I do these three things. But number four is that I also attend courses. And I believe that when I'm away off-site from my company, it gives me more clarity. And I'll be there 3 days, taking out everything that the trainer is talking about. And of course, the fifth thing is that if you have a one-to-one coach, I think that's the best. If this coach is somebody that's experienced, been there, done that, can see your blind spot and tell you exactly what you need to do. And the reverse psychology is that when you pay, there's skin in the game. But if you don't commit, it's just like why people go for personal trainers, because the personal trainer is already paid and he's there at the gym waiting for you. If you don't go, you just burn your cash, right? So it's like, it forms a reverse psychology of skin in the game commitment. So I think the 5 things, which I used to have a one-to-one coach before. A couple of years back, it was really helpful for me. Now I usually adopt these 4 things. Yeah, which to me, the 4th thing by attending courses is also like a way for me to meet new people, to network, and also to learn with a very clear mind.
All right. So, Melvin, thanks so much for your time today. I think the audience also they'll find this very valuable, especially whether you are someone that's already running a business or whether you are looking to grow your business or to scale it, how, the things Melvin shared about people, the spiderweb theory, operation systems, and also why upskilling yourself is really important, being someone that's leading a company, right? So thank you so much, Melvin.
Yeah, welcome. Pleasure to be here.